That's zoom.
Yep.
Just getting the third rod ready because I'd seen a few fish out there just below the surface and it came off your little... Welcome to another vlog. Now on this episode I'm going to be talking about a few sessions and a few of the exciting things that I got up to during the spring of this year. Now like most people, spring to me is the best time to be out on the bank. The days are getting longer, the temperatures are increasing, the carp are becoming more active and I just love spending time outdoors at this time of year. I'm going to kickstart this episode by showing you guys a session that I had down at Linear with my mate Dylan. Now, when I went on this session, to be honest, I didn't really have a plan where I was going to be fishing. I wanted to stay away from Linear, just because I've been there quite a few times this year already. But Dylan, he was down on St John's in dugout, he was catching a few fish, and he messaged me late evening saying that the guy next to him was catching a few fish, but he was going to be leaving in the morning. And that was enough temptation for me to get my ass in the van, drive down to Linear for when that guy was going to be packing up. Now, I waited for that guy to pack up. It was around midday once he'd left. I got the rods out and there was plenty of fish showing out in front of the swim. And deep down, I felt like it wasn't going to take long until I got the first bite of the session. So I flicked 2 zigs out there. I was just getting the third rod ready and then one of the rods ripped off and I was into the first fish of the session. Well, I got the rod out, literally just getting the third rod ready because I'd seen a few fish out there just below the surface and it came off. No, cut me off. I waited for the guy to pack up in this peg. He left about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, so I got the gear around. I've been on the phone to a few people.
On St John's in the dolly hole, you've seen a big one crash out and you pre-recorded everything that's wrong with Instagram. Instagram feed that says, I am going to catch the box comment, but you've not put it out because you're a pussy.
And the whole time that I've been distracted, there's just been fish boshing out there non-stop. So yeah, as soon as I've finished everything that I needed to do, I quickly got the rods out. Got 2 zigs out there, I was literally just getting the third rod ready. And the left hand is ripped off. Dylan's came running from the peg next door. Had the fish on for about 2 minutes and then it just cut me off on something. I'm not sure what it was, don't think it was weed. It's probably obviously like where someone's cracked off maybe and there's a bit of line, a bit of braid on the bottom. But other than that, I am absolutely devastated. So I'm going to carry on getting this rod. This is the rod that's just being cut off. I'm going to get that sorted, get it back out there. Not happy. So this is Dylan. How are you feeling today, Dylan?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling great? Sun's out?
Sun's out,
guns out. Can you give us a little run through what happened last night? Caught a few carp, didn't you?
Last night, it was quiet through the day.
It was quiet through the day.
Start that again.
He's going to change his t-shirt. He's embarrassed that it's got a Corda logo on it. Here he is, wearing the good clothing. Catching a few fish.
We are catching a few. Well, not at the minute we're not.
Not if we're losing fish, but...
We're losing fish at the minute. Yeah, it was a good night. Quiet day. But as it sort of night fell, bites didn't really stop coming until about 1 o'clock.
Other than that, we're just going to carry on sitting here, getting sunburned, listening to noisy cars going past, and waiting for one of those rods to rip off again, or one of Dylan's, and for us to get cut off.
Not me.
No. Big Dylan is into a car.
Sitting down enjoying the sun. I've only just flicked this one back out really. Change the depth one for 10 minutes.
And she ripped off.
She ripped off.
The box. He's got the box. Dylan has got the box.
Empty box.
He's sponsored by Nash, but you'd think he's sponsored by Fox. Oh, she's a common. It's a box, that is. Get in the net. Got to give it a bosh. Get in the net. Bosh! Gotcha! Here we have Dylan getting his Instagram content. Make sure to go follow him. What's your Instagram account?
At Dylan Willet _NT.
_NT. Oh, we nearly fell over, isn't it? Whee.
Box common.
How are you feeling in this?
Ecstatic. Is this sunlight doing me justice?
In terms of fishing achievements, I mean, I know that you've caught Burfield Common and Car Park Linear.
It's countless, really. Like, obviously Mary was a highlight of my like angling career, but like, it's the box. Oh, sorry. After seeing a couple show a bit closer in, sort of, we're out at like the 100-yard zone. I brought it back to probably about 80 yards, just on a show and fish, load the zigs slightly. And yeah, it's gone tearing off. About 5 minutes later, it's a bit of a lively one. But yeah, I haven't really seen much coming out on the rest of the lake. Obviously Finn lost one earlier. Yeah, you could just say that's down to us being world class, or you could say it's luck, but I beg to differ. Yeah. Where's man acting hard?
Well, it came to the end of the first day, and unfortunately, I personally haven't been able to catch one yet. Dylan, on the other hand, did get off the mark. Well, I say get off the mark. He was able to catch one today, a nice 22-pound common. Yeah, unfortunately, I lost one. Now, when I was setting up in the peg, I did actually see quite a lot of fish on the surface, showing up and down the North Fishing Bank, but once I lost that fish, it went a little bit quiet. But in the last sort of half an hour to an hour, I have started seeing quite a few fish showing near the surface. And I think there's a fly hatch or something going on at the moment, because yeah, it looks like them carp are taking stuff off the surface. I don't think anyone's put out any mixes, so I've kept all the zigs out. I've made sure I've put up near the surface, and hopefully, just by mimicking the food out there, we might be able to nick a bite. But I'm going to keep all 3 zigs out there tonight. A lot of people seem to have an idea that zigs don't work at night, but trust me, they do. So I'm going to keep all 3 zigs out there tonight, and then if for some reason they don't work tonight, then tomorrow I'm going to think about putting the rods on the deck. But enough of me talking, I'm going to get some food on the go, and hopefully just before dark we might be able to catch one. He's having a mare. He's having a mare. I'm going up a 30. In a minute. Whee! He's got the pole. He's got the pole. It's a big one.
Your shoulder, yeah?
Ready? Yeah. 33, yeah, 33.6.
Yeah, I'd
Really?
say just under 33.5, I'd say. Actually, nah, 33. Yeah, I'll go 33.6.
Yeah, 33.6. Boo! I thought you said it was a big one.
Need to delete that off my story, ASAP. Right. A little bit smaller than we thought, but 33, whatever it was, I can't remember.
Whatever it was, it's a pasty.
Finn had a bite which unfortunately dropped off, but
I'm a noddy.
literally 5 minutes later this bust off. Can't put him down because I'm weak as f. But yeah, looks like it's on for a bite. Done all 3 of my rods, so need to get that sorted now. But yeah.
Beautiful, and here comes the paparazzi to come take photos. No publicity, this is a private venue. You'll be lucky if you're witnessing this footage, because this is basically Terry Earn in his prime. Bosh. Never been caught before.
Yeah, go on now.
Dylan's now going to do a 4 lap. Yeah? Now this is the vlog footage iPhone while playing a carp. Dylan's on the net. I've seen the fish, and it's not a big one. Oh yeah, go on, you get me.
Hopefully I don't drop the phone. Look at that. That is some f***ing footage.
Like 10 pixels.
Oh, is that
Basically, I've decided to back off the Sony. Sony cameras are rubbish. iPhone is obviously way better for capture photos and video. Just whack it in portrait mode and you sound so.
Pick it up. Summon swoop. No. I f***ed it up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Salmon swoop! Number 2! Wait, it's your net! Take that f***ing post. Oh.
That's how you do it. We got it. Wait. It's Mary. It's Mary. Dylan isn't the best at netting, as we've just realised. I've been netting all my fish from
one-handed net.
But yeah, we've got one. Happy days. £22 2 ounces.
21.10.
I'm not gonna lie, I start shaking when I start lifting 10 pounders.
21.10 all the way. That's not far off. Is she gonna focus?
I wasn't lying about me shaking. Well, it's about time that I was able to land one. My third bite of the session, but after losing a couple of fish, I'm glad to say we landed this one. Just over £21. A lot smaller compared to Dylan's, and there's much larger carp in here. But I think you'll agree, it's a perfect linear. And yeah, it shows that we've got the tactics right. Like I said, between me and Dylan now, we've had quite a few bites. There's a few fish showing out there. And it does seem, just sort of on dark, it's around 9:30, 10 o'clock now. And it does seem that the fish are getting on a bit of a hatch. There's quite a few flies flying about, and I can just imagine that's what the fish are eating. And that's why we're catching on the zigs. But I'll get this one slipped back. I'm gonna have to apologise now because there's a car about to ruin my audio. But yeah, I'm gonna get this one slipped back. I've already reached up the rods. Dylan's got his to sort out. And yeah, fingers crossed, it's going to be an action-packed night. Beautiful. Good morning. We've got professional chef Dylan cooking some bacon. We're currently at midday, and to be honest, nothing's really happened. So we're just enjoying the sunshine, and to be honest, we think it's going to kick off big time later this evening. There are plenty of fish all in the bay, out in the middle, but we've tried every depth, every colour. So is everyone else on the lake, and they're catching nothing.
Nada.
Nothing. So yeah, we're just going to chill here, have some bacon, and then crispy bacon. Well, poor Chef Dylan's burnt his crispy bacon, but to be honest, look at that.
Lovely.
But to be honest, I think it's all going to be about that lorry. But to be honest, I think it's all going to be about this evening, going into dark, just like yesterday. And yeah, hopefully when we hook them fish, we're not going to be losing them and we're going to be landing them. I'm not complaining, I have been able to land one fish so far this session, but for now, I'm going to get in the zone, try and catch this box. It's been a pretty quiet day, to be honest. Me and Dylan have tried every depth, zig, every colour. We've been casting out showing fish, casting out long, casting out short. We've tried everything, and yet nothing has worked until about 10 minutes ago. Now, yes, I'm buzzing that I've been able to catch one, but to be honest, it was an absolute nightmare to land. Wiped out all my rods, it went next door, and yeah, it's not really a big fish. It's probably £10, £12, but we've been able to get another one. So I'm going to put all zigs around that same depth. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Maybe on one of the zigs I'm going to put a red zig screw or a yellow zig screw. But I'll get this fish out quickly on the mat to show you. We're starting to lose the light. To be honest, it's not a big fish, but I'll quickly get it out, show you guys. And then we're going to order a takeaway to celebrate the absolute unit that is in the sling. Big fish in the sling?
Massive fish in the sling.
Massive.
Biggest of the session, ain't it?
I thought you had the box last night.
Yeah, I did. I was spawned out there.
Spawned out. Oh, this is floppy, again spawned out. Big plated later. Jesus, this is a big one. What a unit. I'm lost for words. I think that's all I've got to say for this one. Bosh. You reckon the full phone's waterproof? Hopefully it still works. There you go.
What were we saying, Finn?
I was hoping that the fishing was going to improve as the evening went on. And yeah, I put that absolute unit back probably about an hour ago. And I've just actually changed this zig to have a few maggots on. And it's tanked off. I've got a sneaky feeling it might be a catfish because it is pulling very hard. But it could just be a big common pulling very hard.
The box common.
The box.
Vlog.
Vlog live.
We're still playing her.
Still playing her 20 minutes later, and I think it's a catfish. Which a lot of people will be gutted about, me included, but anything for the vlog. It's actually not a catfish, it's a carp, it's foul hooked in the tail. Well, good morning, and it's our final morning down here at St John's. And yeah, Dylan's got to shoot off to work pretty quick this morning, so he's pretty much packed up. But big man Dylan, he's pulled it out of the bag last minute. He's had one. I also had a little 6-pounder in the night. And then we also caught a trailer. It was actually a zig that I'd cracked off the day before, and it was a fucking unit. But obviously it doesn't count, so we put it back. I was tempted for photos, but we didn't, I promise. So we put it back. And yeah, we're gonna get Dylan's fish out now. Like I said, I put my little one back last night, so I've just got 2 rods out there. I can't be arsed straight chucking in the night.
Bosh.
Dylan picking his song.
Pushing P.
The fish that Dylan came to St John's for.
The one.
The one and only.
No tail.
Ollie better to dodge a cut tail. Yeah. It's been a good session, would you agree?
I agree.
He agrees.
Tough yesterday, but keep up
But sweet, it's rush hour. None of these cars except that we've got a very important vlog to film, but well done.
Bosh. Over and out.
I really enjoyed my session on St John's. It's just nice being out on the bank, catching a few fish with a mate, decent weather. And after that session I drove back up north, spent a few days behind the desk editing before my next couple of sessions. Now the next couple of sessions were spent down on my new Syndicate, and to be honest I can't say too much as that's going to be part of a different film for Nash TV. It's going to be a bit of a campaign film, trying to catch a few target fish, and a couple of them are true northern monsters. I haven't spent that much time down there, but like I said, on the first night I was able to catch my first fish, but that is all I can say for now. After a couple of sessions on the Syndicate, the next trip was down to Nash HQ to film a section of the 24 podcast.
Oh no, what is this?
Here he is, Hassan.
You can't
Welcome.
see this secret setup, mate.
Welcome to the vlog. This is your little den.
Oh, vlogging, mate. I'm set at the podcast studio because you're doing a section of the 24 podcast.
You watched all the 24s?
Of course I have. I'm a consummate professional, mate. Research is done.
Whose is the best?
Whose is the best 24? Oh, I'm in him, so it's definitely not mine. Who do I think is the best? Numbers of fish. You've caught
Did Alfie and...
loads. Alfie, oh no, they might have caught more. They did catch more. I think the best all round is definitely Tommy's and Alfie's. The surface fishing, always best to catch them off the top. They caught the most, and the truck blew up sort of next to them while they were fishing. You can't get any better than that, mate.
Published.
we've got.
Fisheries
Have you got them
rules.
from product development?
No, I've got them from my tackle box.
No, he's got them. Mate, we've genuinely we're messing around and that, and I've upped one, and it's taken line, and it's got me in a snag, and I reckon it was...
I've had them to mid-20s.
He's had them to mid-20. We're messing around with £4
I have.
line on. I've genuinely upped a good one there. Like, I reckon you're talking
£10.
12 and a half, losing that one. My fingertips are shaking, my knees are quivering.
It was the fact that you were genuinely like, it's big!
No, but it actually was.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
done him,
happy.
mate. He's gone. He'll be here all day now because it's in his head. Great bit of casting. I've lost your hook bait completely, but it's got to go. That's got to go. This little knob here, if you do it up, if you do it up, this little knob here, mate.
Careful, careful!
It's nearly made the aerators. That's why I had to give it some, mate. Be careful. It's going to wrap itself around the scaffold.
Mate, I don't think you understand this line's about £1.
It's a good one, mate. It's a good one. I'll get the net just in case. I don't want to be too sort of...
Is my net going to be big enough?
I don't know, mate. We might have to go for the proper specie. I think if you point the rod at it, it's real, it'll come in.
Mate, no way.
Mate, they're coming up the chum line now. You're missing them. Mate,
It took me
that's
round
not even a double, is it?
No.
Oh, big fish of the future.
Bosh!
Oh no, that's a double. That's a Barney Rubble.
That's not bad. I told you it was a better
That's
one.
a Barney Rubble, mate. Right, let's get a good shot of this.
Mate,
This will get on your
absolutely
Instagram.
ecstatic.
Portraits.
Portrait, landscapes, a bit of everything, mate. We need both sides. Night shots.
Imagine if that was a barb. Good job of following fishery rules. So if today couldn't get any better, Jacob has just pulled it out of the bag.
Close.
Hassan's pissed off on the phone.
Close to the £10 mark. We've grafted for this.
Proper.
Probably one of the best fish of my year. I'm going to struggle to top this. Ran me around the whole lake, got me around the aerator.
Thought it was a catfish.
Mate, honestly, words can't describe the elation that I'm feeling. It's not even a word, but you know what I mean? When you catch a fish like this, words fail, mate. Words, absolutely, there's no one showing. Let's get it back in, and let's try and get one even bigger, if it's possible, because look at that.
Emotional.
Oh boy.
It was certainly a bit of fun and a bit of entertainment on the Office Lake with Hassan and Jacob catching what was possibly the biggest fish in the Office Lake. But it was just great spending time again just out there, even though I wasn't really fishing, just being with a couple of the lads from Nash. Is since I live so far up north, I don't get to spend as much time as I would like with them lads, so it's a great laugh. And another time that we all got to meet up was at the Northern Angling Show back in February at Manchester.
That's lethal, mate.
See, that's an edge at the bank, that is, isn't it? Skateboard.
Build them in.
What's going on?
There we go.
World record.
First score is in. When I was at the Northern Angling Show, the following week I actually had a couple of dates fast approaching to be out with Nash for a few nights, filming an episode for the Day Ticket Diaries. Now, at this time I didn't really have a plan where I was going to be going. I had a few venues in mind, but my mind wasn't really settled on one venue specifically, so I spoke to a few lads at the Northern Angling Show, and one venue that kept popping up time and time again was Sandhurst. Now, I've never been there before, but I've heard plenty of stories about it. It's a popular day ticket venue which contains some very big and very special carp. Like I said, it popped up a few times, so it was no-brainer that was going to be where I was going with Nash. Now, I went down there, the conditions weren't ideal, it was still quite cold for the time of year, but after a lot of hard work I was able to catch a couple of carp, and right at the end of the session I was able to catch a 38-pound mirror, and it was just incredible. Like I said, winter and the colder months, to be honest, I find it quite hard to catch fish at that time of year, so it was just nice after quite a few difficult months to finally have a decent carp in the bottom of my landing net. That session was filmed for Nash TV, so make sure to head over there, check that episode out, as I really enjoyed it, and it was something that I was quite proud of to watch back over, as it was my first production for Nash. We also filmed a few other episodes at that time of year, but they won't be coming out until next year, so keep your eyes peeled out for that. The colder months can be a really harsh time to be out of the bank. Winter moving into early spring, carp fishing really can be hit and miss, and a lot of people tend to hang up the rods on the walls until the spring comes round. However, me personally, I try to keep going through the winter, but this year especially I just found it really hard to get a bite from any species. However, I did actually have one trip up at Norton Disney, just a quick day session while driving around, where I was able to catch a few fish. Well, I don't really talk tactics that much on this channel. Most of my tactics and why I do things goes on Nash TV, but I'm just going to quickly run through the setup that I'm using. It's a leg clip. On there I've got a 4-ounce distance lead. The reason I'm using a 4 ounce is because the wind is quite strong. To be honest, I'd much rather be using a 4.5 or a 5, but I'm unprepared, I don't have any with me. On there I've got an anti-tangle sleeve, As hook length, I've got 15 skin length in stiff, and the reason I've went for the stiff is just because it's windy. I don't want that rectangle on the cast. As hook bait, I've got a 12mm scope extruded wafter topped off with a bit of yellow sweet corn, and that's pretty much going to match the mix that I'm going to be spotting over the top. As for hook, I've got a size 4 twister in barbless because it's a barbless reel down here, and on the shank of the hook I've got a little bit of silicone, and on the eye of the hook a little bit of shrink tube. If you've watched a few of the videos on Nash TV before, you'd have seen that I absolutely love this setup, and to be honest, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, that always gets me out of jail. I've already put one rod out, I'm going to put the other rod out now just as there's a bit of a break in the weather. Put a few spods over the top and see what happens. Well, the rods have been out in the water now for about 2 hours, and to be honest, I'm not that confident, or I wasn't that confident, and that's because the right hander is just absolutely screamed off, and we've got one in the net. I'll get this one out on the map to show you guys, then I'll decide whether I'm going to stay or go home. If I go home, I'm definitely going to be fishing this week, possibly pike fishing or down on the club water, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, if we caught one, you never know, there might be more out there, and certainly if one of them rods rip off again, I'll be staying here longer. Well, I really wasn't expecting that. To be honest, once I got the rods out, for some reason, I wasn't that confident. But this one was confident while feeding on the spot, and with being able to catch it. Yeah, I was literally just sat there in the bivvy, just sort of thinking, should I go home, should I stay, should I move? Yeah, right hander let out a couple of bleeps, and then it absolutely screamed off. Yeah, I reckon it's just over 20 pound. I'll give it a quick weigh. It's quite a chunky short little mirror. But at least we haven't blanked. I'm still unsure if I'm going to stay or not, but we haven't blanked, and that's the main thing. Anyway, I'll get this one set back. A perfect little mirror. No, don't go under there. Oh. That's a bit of a rubbish release. It went underneath the platform. It's literally swimming all the way underneath the platform. You're joking. There she is. Whee! Yes. I think the fish might still be hooked, to be fair. Number 3. And hopefully number 4. Well, what a crazy few hours that's been. I got down to Linear Lake this morning, got the rods out, and to be honest, for some reason I just wasn't feeling it. And yeah, that right hander screamed off, and I've just pretty much had, well, not pretty much, I had a triple take. Fortunately I lost one, but the other 2 I landed. The other one was a small proper scaly mirror, and this one, it was around 23 pound. So yeah, 4 bites, 3 fish landed. You can't complain for February. As you would have seen by the previous vlogs, from January to around end of March I was doing a lot of pike fishing on the quest to try and catch my first ever 20 pound pike. Now, I haven't been able to catch it yet, but I have came really close. So at this time of year I was probably doing 2 pike sessions every week, just trying to get that true monster. I've documented all the sessions, and I'm going to be making a bit of a campaign film, a bit of a documentary, because pike fishing for me is something completely new, so it's basically learning how to fish again and trying to catch that 20 pound pike. Left hander, half it, sort of what we were expecting. To be able to grab my camera, I can tell you now this is a big one. Well, I feel like someone in my family has just been killed, or I've just had all my possessions stolen, and that's because I've just lost Godzilla. Fish number 2, well, fish number 3, Jonathan caught one about an hour ago. The rod that hasn't done me by all day has just ripped off. But just gonna have to make sure we get down bright and early, get the rods out, and see if we can get this elusive 20 pound pike. And that brings us up to date what I've been getting up to during the early to mid part of spring of this year. Now, by back end of spring, moving into summer, I've been on some really big and incredible trips. I've been out to Europe a couple of times, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, some pretty big carp were caught for the vlog, Both adventures were filmed. They're going to be coming out on the next 2 vlogs, so make sure you subscribe so you're notified when them vlogs come out. If you've enjoyed this vlog, make sure to leave it a like, leave it a comment what you'd like to see next on this channel. But like I said, the next 2 vlogs is something really special, so I'm going to leave you with a little trailer on what's coming next to this channel.
Please ensure that your handbrake is on and that your vehicle is in first gear or park. We will take in traffic. We recommend that you stay with your vehicle.
Welcome to Belgium.
Out of the box cat fishing.
Got 2 jerry cans here and my van is currently parked in a random farmer's field, probably about 10 kilometres away. Yes. This is the big moment of truth. We've waited a fair few hours, days for this moment. Here's the spare key.